Hello and welcome to another modelling video. This is Alan from the McConaughey at YouTube with another Honing Your Airbrush Skills video. Today we will be talking about unclogging your nozzle or your airbrush. If you have a paint flow, airflow, any sort of flow issue, even after regular use, cleaning and changing paints, a really deep clean method that I've picked up from some friends and developed myself to get your airbrush into a clean flowing state again. You can do a thorough clean job that all you need is that one particle paint or lubricant stuck somewhere that's going to cause problems. The first step I'm going to do is, after I've had a really good clean, I still have just stuttering airflow problems. I can paint no problem, but I just can't get the full pressure of air going through the brush. So I've got all of this in a solution of mostly water and a little bit of window cleaner, and I'm going to let all the parts soak for a few days. That's going to get all the gunk in there nice and soft, brush it out, then ultrasonic clean it, and last we'll show a couple of tools and methods. So minimum a day. I'm going to leave it for a few days because I actually haven't done a good royal soak in a long time. We've been soaking this for 3 days. Don't have to do it for that long. And all the gunk and slime and everything in there is nicely loosened up and separated. So what we're going to do is remove all the parts, put some thinner in here, ultrasonic clean it, but instead of leaving it there for 5 minutes or a couple of hours, we'll let it soak for a good 24 hours, and just before we pull it out again, we will also give it another ultrasonic shake. Now, tool set 1 you should seriously consider buying is a brush cleaning set. You can find these on eBay. And with the smallest one, we're going to clean out the air component and make sure that there's no dirt in it. And with one of the larger ones, or even two of them, I'm going to thoroughly clean out the back, and you can see that there's actual some gunk coming out. Again, with the small one, we shall also go through the air input. Give that a bit of a clean. Another interesting tool to get is a nozzle repair tool. So it comes in a little gold canister like that, and it has a spike. The spike is a very similar taper of a 0.3 needle. You can gently insert it into nozzles of multiple sides. The needle, however, is cut in half. So half of it is completely void, so we're not packing or forcing material. Now, in the event that your nozzle has gunk, fluff or anything stuck in it and you've compacted it with your needle, you can put this needle in. You can see that it goes all the way through, and you're able to spoon out what sort of debris is in there very, very gently. If your nozzle has broken off into the airbrush, you're able to stick this needle into the thread and twist it out. So it's got two purposes. Very cheap, found on eBay, very, very useful. And it's simple as just prying and removing build-up of lint, tissue, paper or pigment or gunked up primer in that nozzle. Just do not force it in too much, as the taper is not correct, and it will not damage or tear your nozzle. Now, another purpose of soaking it in water for so long is paper and pigment reacts to water. It will soften up, it will expand. It will give enough expansion for this to pull that debris out. Everything Now there's a little bit of caked paint in there, and we're going to deal with that next since everything is nice and soft. We're going to fill it up with thinner, ultrasonic clean it for a couple of hours, and then let it sit and rest and soften up. Now I very recently cleaned it, and ultrasonic cleaning it for the second time, I am absolutely amazed that this much crap is spraying up again. It's not as thick as last time, so this could explain a lot behind the clogging issues I've been having. So that's 24 hours of a soak. We're going to give it another clean in some fresh thinner and see what happens. This is after 24 hours. We'll try it one more time and see if there's anything left inside. So second round with thinner. And there really isn't anything coming out. This airbrush is really good. Water's darkening a bit, so we're going to let that do that for a little while, and then we'll test if it's completely unclogged. Pretty good. We're going to lube it up and test some lines. So with everything cleaned, tuned, and the air solenoid loosened, we have very thin lines. Now airflow was a problem, so coverage would have been hard. And now we can do fat lines. No problems. That was not possible earlier, and we were unable to colour things in or paint kits. And now it's somewhat working. So in conclusion, that is how to tune your airbrush and get it's completely unclogged of any paint or whatnot. So just very quickly, if it gets clogged, you're not getting good airflow, make sure that all fittings are tight on your compressor. Give it a thorough clean, unclog your nozzle, give it a very long soak it in thinner, ultrasonic clean it if you can. If you can't, use the brush sets, and it should be absolutely back to full operation mode. This is with overly thin paint, and you can see that the page is almost completely covered. And a little tuning from the last piece of paper, because it was not completely tuned. You can get thin lines. And practicing lines, shapes, patterns, shading, gradient shading, and obviously colouring in objects. That concludes the video on unclogging your airbrush. Thank you very much for watching. As always, until next time, stay tuned for further content. I'm very happy to answer questions in the comment section. Have a look at Facebook for more content, and also every time I upload a video, YouTube is doing funny things. The video is also put up on Facebook, so if you make a habit of checking it a couple of times a week, looking at the feed, watching the videos, you will get everything you need. And that's about it. Catch you guys next time. One little tidbit of information: if you have your nozzle cap completely closed and tightened, that sometimes slightly obstructs the needle or the needle hole. If you loosen it as you spray and you see the pressure expands, and then you test paint a line, you'll notice that the quality of the flow as well as the quality of the lines that you're painting may improve due to it being tuned just right. It's something explained before in previous honing your airbrush skills video, but it's just something that's easily forgotten.